Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Crosscurrent. Today, I'm giving you a guide on a new game called Scavengers. This game, I just found it yesterday, and it's pretty easy to get. You just gotta go on a stream that has drops enabled, wait for 30 minutes, you then receive an email since you've connected it to your email, and then you put the code into Steam. Pretty easy, straightforward, free game aside from that. So, start off and go over the home screen. You click on home, you've got a Discord as well as training mode. Training mode will go over the basics within the game, but there's a lot of stuff that it really doesn't tell you to help prepare for the game and little tidbits that you really should know. Now, on the play screen, it shows your challenges. They get harder over time. It seems that those are just things that will get much, much harder rather than refreshing for daily rewards at this time. When it comes to the left side over here, you've got leaderboards. These apparently, I've heard that they will be refreshed every 72 hours. There's a lot of hate about those, so hopefully that won't be forever because that doesn't effectively support the idea of leaderboards. Now, when you click right below, this will change the region from US Central, Europe West, Asia, Pacific Northeast. Now, to exit, it doesn't show anything, you just gotta hit escape. If you can't leave anything in the main menu, just hit the escape bar. It's weird. I don't know why it's like that. Game is very new, though. Click down here for all the settings. I'll let you get into that on your own. There's nothing too crazy there. Aside from you can turn on streamer mode to keep your stuff private. A lot of games don't have that as an option, especially this early in the game. Now, for adding friends, it can be a little confusing. But the basic thing is you look for players, and you can invite them here as well. You have to put in their name and their tag and number. But do understand, since this game is new, it doesn't always work very well. I've had moments where I couldn't actually add the friends or play with the friends, and that was just a glitch because they're working on the servers. I think they got a lot more attention than they expected. Now, you can possibly queue into games with your friends, just do a countdown, make sure you're in the same region. It happened with one of my friends, and we ended up getting first and second place, not even teaming up, just playing it out and slaying out. Now, we're going to get to the explorers. These are your legends or champions, or whatever you want to call them. Each of them has a signature ability as well as a signature weapon, meaning that in the game you can craft this weapon and you have the ability available all the time, except that it'll have to recharge once you use it. They also do have a passive ability of some sort. I'll get into that later. But as of right now, the three characters that you will have unlocked for free are Halden, Valora, and Tarek. Sorry if I butchered the names. Tarek is a sniper. His stun ability I haven't used very well. Seems alright, I guess. People rate him very low because a sniper doesn't do as much damage as you would think. I've hit someone in the head once and then the chest and they still haven't died, which is extremely disappointing if you're a sniper main in any game. Valora is the most powerful, debatably, of the three characters. The shotgun hits really hard. She's very aggressive. The shield ability blocks off other bullets for a little bit of time within a red orb, I believe. And just the slide mechanics are phenomenal in this game. The only problem is there have been known glitches with reloading the gun. So keep that in mind. Make sure it's actually loading the bullets. And if not, switch weapons, go back and reload again. If you are sliding and you jump anytime during the slide, you cannot reload or use meds or anything. But if you slide and you stay planted, you can keep using meds. You can keep reloading your guns and doing other little things like that. Believe me, it'll screw you up if you don't think about that. So yeah, Valora's a lot of fun, close range combat. Halden, I've heard a lot of people like this character, but that's because they like the versatility. The strike rifle is medium ranged, of course. You've got the curative aura, which is very good. A healing ability for everyone is always fantastic. It's hard to hate on that. You do have shields that regenerate over time, whether that be a passive ability or a part of the game that's always going to be there. So it's less useful late game, but it's still good to have there just in case. I have purchased Callie. I just purchased her because everyone's getting Jay since he's OP. Debatably OP. I like Callie because she's got the camo effect. The camo effect is best used if you're standing still. You can try to move around with it, but people notice the silhouette of you on the map. The longbow, the compound bow, hits for a decent amount of damage. It's very quiet, but you do not get as much of a scope as you would want. In close range, you probably will die if you try to initiate fights with it. Jay obviously is focused on melee combat, and he has shield ability, so it's really hard to kill him. When he swings his pole arm down, it actually does an array of damage in front of that. Don't know the exact amount, but it gives him some extra range you wouldn't expect. I have been completely obliterated by this, and it has pissed me off because I had no idea. Letty, I haven't heard of anyone really playing as Letty. I've heard people complain about her weapon, and the EMP blast, I'm not entirely familiar with what that would actually do. Maybe it affect with shields like some things do in Apex, but no one's really played this character. Play at your own risk. Cruz, I had one friend get Cruz. He is basically a support in the sense that his ability Tailwind gives everyone movement speed within what looks like a runway of red dazzling light. His gun, I've heard complaints on, but it's an SMG, so you gotta be close range, otherwise it's probably gonna be awkward. The character though seems interesting. You can probably run like Cruz, Jay, and Valora to go all out attack. If you want to play passive, you could probably run Tarek, Halden, and Kali. If you want to go weird, you can use Letty with any of them. You got lots of options. Now, this is the most important section I can think of at the moment, the research section. So at the start, you're going to be on research tier 1, which means you can only have one research thing going on at once. And now all of these take about 20 minutes. So they're pretty easy. And they give you little things like, oh, you can make a bow that does 20 damage a hit. You can make a pistol that has terrible drop-off damage. You don't need to make it again, don't worry. Once you make these things, you can then craft them in the game with the in-game materials that you scavenge. You'll learn about that within the tutorial the game shows you. Now, once I got the sidekick known, and then I got the Snowpiercer, I didn't have the sidekick as an option. I think because the Snowpiercer is definitely better than that. But I don't know for sure. Now, when you do have something done, you have to go up here and you have to collect the research. Otherwise, it won't actually be there. So I can go back to the wildcard weapons, and boom, now I have that done. Once you hit tier 2, you'll have components that have to be made. To make the components, you'll have to go back onto research, hit resources, and go over to components there. Now, these will take special requirements to make them, and materials seem to take a lot of nanite, which will be earned at the end of each game. But be wary, that takes a long time to get. Be sure you know what you're making. Don't just make random crap. Make sure you know what you're making, because you don't want to go backwards and have to redo stuff and waste more time. Because the components seem to go pretty quick, but that pistol took about 4 hours to get. The also tier 2 research took 4 hours to get. So, to upgrade your research tiers, you have to complete certain projects. So I've completed one of the 10 projects. Additionally to this, wait, hold up. So I probably need to do about 4 to 9 more of these, depending upon how it tracks it, whether it means 10 new, or if it means a total of 10. So just keep that in mind. It does cost silicon. I haven't had to worry about that yet. I'm assuming you get after each match. If you survive at the end of the match, it'll probably give you more materials than if you die. To get materials, you're going to have to salvage stuff. So after each game, you'll have at least one thing to salvage. It'll just pop up there. You click right around here, and it gives you materials. Pretty straightforward. See, signature weapons, those are weapons that any class can make at any time. Oh, not signature weapons. Sorry, I misworded that. Signature weapons are for solely your explorers. There's nothing you do with that until you get research tier 3, or for some people 4. So don't worry about that yet. That's going to take a while to get to. Wildcard weapons are what I was talking about. Any character can use them, and they'll always be there as an option. They're not as important. Like, they do stuff, but, like, honestly, I find the opus almost all the time in the game without a problem. And I typically drop it to get an SMG or an AR, unless I'm feeling really risky. Now, the throwables is just grenades and stuff of the sort. The grenades, I am a little skeptical on. When I've hit people with grenades, it's only done about 20 damage, which is extremely underwhelming. Hopefully that'll get updated or buffed or the blast radius or whatever, because you can hold a maximum of 2 grenade of the same grenade, and it's just 20 damage. It sucks. That's nothing. You can do that with a bow shot. You can do that with 2 taps from any SMG AR. So until then, don't worry about nades unless you're just hiding behind cover and you need to dink somebody. Items. The thermal boost is phenomenal. You're going to require that a lot when you're running out in the open, when you get hit by a storm, like a random blizzard. Just when you're running away from enemies too, because you can't stop and heal at a campfire. So you're just going to want to craft these. They cost 100. They're really cheap. I typically make like 2 or 3 at a time. I have 2 or 3 on me at a time. But I just make sure that I'm constantly crafting my armor and crafting my weapon. I'll get into that later, though. The talents, I haven't messed too much with the talents. They take components I can't really get a lot of at the moment. Be sure you read through them. At tier 1, you don't need to worry about them because you have all those passive things as ready already. And tier 2, you get more of the defender traits for everybody. Well, for that character. For other characters, it has different traits, like the acrobat or the sniper, so on and so forth. Just be sure you read them and understand them as best you can. You do have to actually own the character, the explorer, to unlock the abilities. Alright, cosmetics, I'm assuming that'll be something that'll come out later in the game. I am not too worried about that. I'd rather win my games than look cool losing it. They have other information here if you need it as well. When it comes to power, power is important because you need that to craft anything. To research a single thing in the game, you need power. So I'm going to make a resource real quick just to kind of show you how it goes. I think I needed another wire. Boom. It's crafting. And it says right there it's going to take about 20 minutes. Cool. Good to know. Alright, so that's all the research, guys. If you have more questions about that, be sure to let me know in the comments below. It's a very important mechanic. When you come into the shop, if you got the early access, be sure to click on this. It costs 0 and it gives you 1,500 free chips, which will come up here. After each game, you do win chips as well, so you can buy characters with considerable ease. Without playing any games, you can buy at least one character for 1,150. If you play a couple games, like I play about 8 hours, I can buy a second character with the remaining. The skin for Valor looks amazing. I don't know if that's going to stick around. If you're into that type of crap like Fortnite players were, that's something to look into also. Alright guys, I think that's going to be the end of this first video. I'm going to make a gameplay guide on my next video. It should be in a couple days. I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you understand more about what the game has to offer. And if you like this video, please smash that subscribe button. If you like it, drop a like. If you know someone could use this, share it with them. And like always, I'll see you next time.